Hi, it's me, Liberty. I have a few minutes before my next appointment, so I thought I would do a video. I have 7 ideas or 7 tips to follow up on my attachment video. I know I did a video a few years ago on attachment styles, specifically the disorganized attachment style, and also I did a video about my zombies. And so I just wanted to follow up a few years later and see how everything is going and give some tips on what I've learned along the way. Speaking of attachment styles and IFS, IFS is Internal Family Systems, which that was by Richard Schwartz. And the attachment style that I specifically know most about is the disorganized attachment, because that's what I've been and worked through. So my tips are basically about building self-intimacy. We are building self-intimacy with ourselves. So my first tip is to spend time talking to yourself. The inner dialogue matters. I prefer writing down my inner dialogue so that I can get it on paper and slow it down. Some people don't really want to write handwritten. They like to type, and typing is fine too because that slows down the process. I prefer written. Some people prefer typed. And if you're not up to writing or typing, you can even record yourself talking. And I do this because not only does it slow your thought process down, but it also helps to reread it periodically. So we can go back. I just read a journal from 2017 yesterday and saw all the progress I've made since 2017, and I'm amazed at the progress I've made. And it was fascinating going back and rereading some of the inner dialogue that I had back then versus what I have today. Number 2 is don't deny your feelings because you're judging them as useless or ugly or negative or bad. Don't deny the feelings and don't judge them. Let them come up. That has been a key for me, to not deny my feelings, not judge them and not deny them. Just notice them. Notice what is coming up when it's coming up. My third tip is getting to know your emotions and what they make you do behaviorally. Just notice and have some self-compassion. Practice some empathizing with yourself too. When the feelings come up, just feel them and know, okay, so this feeling feels like this, and I want to behave like this. So say you hang out with the wrong people and it makes you feel bad. You feel lonely, you feel discontent, you feel dejected. However you feel, notice that, and then notice what those feelings make you want to do. So for me, when I'm feeling dejected and lonely, I want to escape. So getting to know the emotions and knowing what they make you do behaviorally is a very, very good idea. And the fourth tip is to have your emotions and don't try to escape from them. Don't run from them. My caveat here is unless it's a volatile emotion. If it's rage, go ahead and distract from that, but don't run from it. Don't escape from it. Don't go pull out the bottle and start drinking, or don't run for cigarettes. Don't run for sex. Don't run to act out, but you can distract if it's a very volatile emotion. But my suggestion is to not run from it, not escape from them. Allow yourself to feel them and process them. Get out the journal, start writing out the dialogue. What am I feeling? How is it affecting me right now? What am I wanting to do right now? And also, like I said, you could record it on a video and just review it periodically. My suggestion is to find the intent behind the emotion, whatever emotion's coming up. If it's anger, find out, why am I getting angry? What about this situation makes me angry? Find out what that zombie is wanting for you. Is it wanting to protect you from something? Is it wanting you to stand up for your needs? Is it just wanting to be heard? what is the positive intent it has for you? Because a lot of these zombies have a positive intent. They're trying to get something for us. They're not trying to ruin our lives. So getting to know them and having that dialogue and having them trust that we know what's best for us is very, very helpful. And then you can find a job for them to do. Like, say your anger wants to be heard, you can find another way to be heard. Or if your anger wants to protect you from something, you can find another way that is protective but not damaging. And number 5 is how you talk to yourself and treat yourself matters. Talk to yourself like you're a friend, like you're talking to your best friend and she's crying on the phone. That's how you could talk to yourself during these moments where you're doing this inner dialogue. I really like Jordan Peterson. He says, what does he say? He says, treat yourself like someone you're responsible for helping. And I really love that quote. I tried to read his book. I got like 10 chapters in. He is very verbose. But that stuck with me because treating myself like I'm someone I'm responsible for helping, that changed the way I talked to myself and the way I treated myself. And that was really amazing. And also I tried a challenge. It was a challenge of saying only kind and empathetic things. And my group did a challenge of switching daily, of saying something kind, nothing but kindness for a day, and then switching to nothing but criticism for a day and seeing how that affects your actions and your feelings and your energy level. You could do a challenge like that to say nothing but kind words to yourself, or nothing but, I don't like the word kind, I like the word empathetic more, because I like to be more understanding of myself and not permissive. I try to say, oh, I understand why you would feel that way and why you would want to act this way, and not being like, oh yeah, like how you acted was perfectly fine, like it was lovely. No, you got to be realistic but empathetic, like understanding. I could see why you would want to say that, or I could see why you would want to do that. Of course it makes sense. Like these are hard things you're going through, or hard emotions that you're feeling. Number 6 is create an internal loving parent, especially for the attachment style. To reparent ourselves is really important. Reparenting that inner child. In the IFS world, we have protectors and we have exiles. So these protectors are protecting these exiles. So, and the higher self is the more spiritual, grounded self. And so I created a mummy. I call her Mummy. And I have this, it's just this dialogue in my head that's a very loving mother. And so I use her to reparent myself, reparent my inner child. And then the 7th tip I have is to take action on behalf of your inner child. Not from the child, but for the child. I identify as a little, so I really get into this one. So my favorite thing to do is to sing to myself. I will rock myself. I have a surrogate inner child. She's right here. This is my inner child. She's got a leash because I've taken her to the dungeon before with me and I didn't want to lose her. But so over this, I've been creating my own inner child challenge. And so I've been rocking her and singing to her, and it's been really nice because I'm taking action on behalf of my inner child. I'll color and I'll sing to myself while I'm coloring. Or I'll skip when I'm working out. If I'm doing a workout, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna skip right now, and it's just an action, a loving action that I take on behalf of the inner child, so that she feels like she's being heard and she's being taken care of and being loved. So I also have a pacifier too, but that fell on the ground. But like, it doesn't have to be like crazy little stuff, like, having an inner child that you rock and sing to. or color or blowing bubbles or skipping. It could just be asking, what does my inner child need right now? And like last night, my inner child needed some yoga and a shower, and just to relax and to just kind of wash away the day. And sometimes my inner child needs a boundary set. It needs to stand up and say, I don't like this, please don't do this, and this is a boundary for me, and this is what's going to happen if you continue doing this. So it's not always like a fun activity, coloring or whatever. It could just be a boundary or a self-care action, but take action on behalf of your inner child. And honestly, all of this helps with the disorganized attachment, and it helps ground into the self. It helps ground into the spiritual center of how you're relating to the world and how you're relating to others, because we can't have secure attachments with others unless we have a secure attachment with ourselves. So ultimately, the idea is to create that intimacy with the self, and that self-trust is imperative. Your inner child needs to trust that your adult self will take care of the show, and then it may relax and allow you to do what you need to do without cropping up with all these, I want to go do this addictive behavior, or I want to scroll through social media for a couple hours, or I want to do this, or I want to do, like, whatever keeps popping up for you. And you can notice, like, these emotions cause this behavior, and so if I take this loving action for this inner child, you may start to notice that some of these behaviors don't really pop up as much. So I just wanted to do a quick video and run through these 7 tips. It's kind of disorganized, but I need to get back to my appointments. So I'm going to go for now, but definitely take these actions for these inner children. I'm going to try to do like my own challenge for my inner child, and maybe I'll share that, maybe I won't, I don't know. But until then, like, you can try and practice writing this stuff out, talking this dialogue, being compassionate, being empathetic, and see how it goes for you. And I really hope that you get something out of it, and I hope that it works for you. And I will be back shortly, I'm sure. I will talk to y'all soon. Bye!